welcome to the B Team Podcast. I am your host, Josh Safran, with my co-host,
Matt Mars,
and our permanent guest,
Rob Nelson.
We're here every week to talk to you about all things Bentonville, bourbon, and business. The B Team Podcast. Be here. Welcome to the B Team Podcast. I am your host, Josh Safran, along with my very handsome co-host,
Matt Mars.
And
we got an empty seat over here.
we got an empty seat. Now, the value from the empty seat will be about the same as we normally get from the full seat.
Yeah.
But it's a sad day.
It is.
It's a sad day.
I mean, you and him kind of went full sideways over him missing some of the shows that we were supposed to do.
Contracts are, right? I mean, we form a partnership and got to add up to your value. Ripped up the contract on the show.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah.
I hope today we can replace him with somebody spectacular. My gut is I feel good about keeping the Nelson genes alive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's a sad day for me.
It is.
I have my tissues in my pocket in case I break down in some tears.
Yeah.
Upset.
Hopefully that's the only reason you have those in your pocket.
Hopefully. I do have a little bit of a cold.
Yeah. Okay.
I do have a little bit of a cold, but no, it's a sad day. You know it.
But anyway, besides that,
yes,
Russ is here. What do we have today to talk about? This is my favorite part here.
It is great.
Good to see you, Matt. And of course, Josh, always good to see you guys. And I guess I'm not going that way.
Russ is like,
over there,
I'm staying out of that deal.
he's in his own lane over there.
Yeah.
He might be hitchhiking right now. Who knows? So we do have this afternoon, Blade and Bow from Diageo from Woodford Distillery in Louisville. So how do you pronounce the capital of Kentucky? Louisville or Louisville?
I know the answer to this because I've been in so many of your events. I'm going to let Matt go here.
I thought it was Louisville.
I'll give you the answer. It's neither. It's not the capital.
No, it's not. It's Frankfurt.
It's Frankfurt. You're right.
See?
I'm just making sure you guys are paying attention at the
But I only knew that because I've seen you do that multiple times. And every time somebody says, Louisville?
Yes.
Louisville?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's always funny going. I know we're kind of going off the.
We always do, though.
Like,
we always go off the rails.
But like, it's like like Topeka, Kansas. You think it would be Kansas City, or there's just you always think it's going to be the biggest city in the state, so it throws you off when you think of Kentucky, you think of Louisville. You don't think of Frankfurt.
I think of Louisville. I don't think of Frankfurt.
I get it. I think of them all too. But when I think about Frankfurt, I think about the four great distilleries are right outside of Frankfurt. Wild Turkey, Woodford Reserve, Buffalo Trace, and Four Roses. And that's a good afternoon day visit to go to Frankfurt and spend a few days there.
That's a great afternoon.
And then of course another great afternoon is on the other side. It's Louisville. Mm-hmm. Where Blade and Bow is, and Stitzelwell, or visit other distilleries in the area. It's a good time to go up there to visit because they want to see their consumer. Mm-hmm. And Blade and Bow was developed by Diageo 9 years ago. It was released.
Oh, it's a new brand.
Yes, it was just recently introduced in 2015.
I didn't know that.
And Blade and Bow, it's an interesting name, isn't it? And it gets its name from the key. So this is the blade, and that's the bow, Blade and Bow. And they used to, and then at the old distillery, the old Stitzelwell distillery, they used to have keys hanging on the distillery doors. And there were 5 keys, and they were the noted 5 keys of bourbon production.
So does each one have a different key?
Back in the day, they did.
But on the bottles,
they're very.
It's more gimmicky.
It's more marketing.
Got it.
Yeah.
But it would be nice to have the 3 skeleton keys and 5 skeleton keys. Different. How they were cut back in the day. So the keys were formed in the distillery. The 5 keys are for the grains that produce the whiskey, for the yeast that go for fermentation, and then distillation, and then maturation. Now, a lot of you hear aging,
a lot of Asians. A lot of Asians in there.
There's a lot there.
So did they buy Stitzelwell then?
So Diageo, when Diageo was formed, in the late 90s, they bought up multiple companies.
Okay.
And through Federal Trade Commission and a bunch of other things, there's a lot of horse switching and horse trading back and forth. with brands were going over here, just because the Federal Trade Commission says we just can't have this big monster distillery company. So they sold off some brands, then developed other ones over time. And so Diageo did keep the old Stitzer Weller because there's its legacy going back, through multiple owners, going all the way back to 1935. So what we have here is Blade & Bow. It's a younger, straight bourbon. I get on here, a lot of spice, a lot of caramelized sugar, a lot of sugar, vanillins.
I was going to say it's really sweet.
Tones.
It's sweet.
It's sweet. Yeah.
That's that corn influence. You're always going to get that sweetness from the corn, but this is only 91 proof. So remember, in the past, we have had some higher proof, and then we get a lot of that sweetness that is masked by the proof and by the aging.
I'm still feeling that old Carter, that 129. It's still
Oh,
hurting.
I love that.
I know
Weeks
you do.
gone by.
I'm still feeling it. This is the first time I tried this because I was at this place for my buddy's 50th birthday last year. Shout out to Jim Corbett, and I didn't love it, and it's actually better than I remembered it being.
Try it with the water. You're going to really see how it sweetens it up.
Sweet, man.
On my palate. Now, when I tried Blade & Bow, and when I dropped it in the lineups in the past, is now I get that sweetness that bubbles up to the surface, but I get a lot of stone fruit. So stone fruit.
You're a big fan of the stone fruit. Can you explain what stone fruit is? Because Matt and I
have never had
every
that.
time you bring up stone fruit, he laughs like a little schoolboy.
I've heard of a stone fly. Like when I'm fly fishing,
Peaches.
we go
Think of stone fruit, peaches.
Okay.
Any fruit with a pit, a stone.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense.
And I get a little bit
The
of
Stone Temple Pilots.
yes, and I get a little bit of butter popcorn too.
This is really good. Actually,
So this one, I actually like it better without the water.
See,
And I've never.
you never said that
Usually
before.
it kind of tones everything down, but to me, I don't know. What do you think?
I liked it both times. I remember when we did the episode where we did the dining in the dark. I had a preconceived notion that I wasn't going to like this, and I pretended that we were drinking in the dark, and which is another college story, right? Remember the times you drank in the dark, but it's much better than I remembered it being. It's actually good both ways.
Yeah. But now it's kind of changed a little bit where we were.
So if we add a little bit more, it dilutes more of the water.
Yeah.
so when you think of Blade & Bow, then think about some other brands like Bullet before they built the distiller, because Bullet and Blade & Bow owned by Diageo. So they used to age some of their Bullet there at the distillery in Louisville. And then also one of my favorite brands we don't have a lot of traction up here in Northwest Arkansas is I.W. Harper. So those brands are, so Bullet's been matured there. It still has its own distillery, Diageo. So Blade & Bow and Stitzel. And then have you heard of the orphan barrels? Mm-hmm. So this is where orphan barrels come from.
I have some of those orphan barrel bottles.
What don't you have at the house? I mean, you got quite a bit.
Yeah, I got a little crazy during COVID.
Who did?
Oh, I know.
How many bottles do you have unopened at the house? We have to do a podcast in your liquor.
Probably
locker.
have over 100, probably.
Oh boy,
Unopened? Okay, that's impressive.
that's good. I'm not in your camp, although my wife seems to think I am. Every time I bring her to like your house or Rob's house, she goes, "Oh, you have so much bourbon. You have so much bourbon." And then I go to your house or Rob's house, like, it's not so bad just yet.
That's mine. Only is bad when there's a tornado or a storm and everyone has to climb in there with all the bourbon in the storm.
I can just hear Carrie now. There's no room for us.
Oh, yes.
And they don't. And then you're playing good cop, bad cop.
Yeah.
Don't touch that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you're kind of hoping for a tornado.
Oh, that one over here that you've never heard of that I don't like. Why did I buy it? That's for you.
Let me rephrase that. You're kind of hoping for a tornado warning.
Exactly.
So you could be in there not. Carrie's in there like, there's no wine in there, right?
Now there's wine.
Oh, okay, so
it's,
everybody's
it's
happy.
got everything. Everyone would be happy.
So we should sit outside your window one night and be like, it's like a tornado warning, just so you guys can go in there and drink at 2 a.m.
Exactly. No, it's this is, like I say, I don't think I gave, kind of like you said, I think I had it one time and I didn't love it, but this is pretty good.
Yes, I it's much, much, much better than I anticipated it being. And I actually am enjoying it. Just like I'm enjoying your company and I'm enjoying the silence.
It has been really quiet today. I mean,
It's been quiet.
I'm not going to have a crick in my neck this afternoon because of that.
I mean, I miss him over there, but
I do miss him, but
he's holding the line. You know,
it's been a rough one. I'm not sleeping well.
I don't know what he's what all the issues.
He wants your share of the contract. He wants to have your share of the ownership.
I think you need to have a come to dram meeting with him.
Oh,
or 3.
You bring some dram up here, and everything he'll forget about.
The midwinter. Oh,
that's his favorite.
He loves that.
Everything.
We should review that. I have a bottle. You have the midwinter. He absolutely. Maybe that's the way to get him back.
Yeah,
we'll get him back with a midwinter. That's a great idea.
I'm bullish on that brand too.
It's so good.
It's his favorite. He wouldn't trade it.
Is that going to be the hook?
Oh yeah.
We may have to bring him back with a bottle of that. That's a good call.
Well, and it would be nice for you to tell us all the ins and outs of what's it at the High West?
That's a rye. The midwinters is a rye, and then finished in portwood barrels.
Okay.
It's very good.
Oh, it's good. We every year when the holiday season starts, Rob and I open one, and then it's supposed to last the whole season, but it
what I'd like to do with that when we do it, I'm going to bring some blue cheese.
Ooh.
You know my feeling on
I know,
blue
but
cheese.
you loved it.
I did love it, but
I'll bring some.
I need a blindfold.
All right, so I'll bring some. Bring some salted chocolate.
I like
you
that.
Like salted chocolate?
I do love that. Who doesn't like that?
Because again, you were going to be the second one out of here if you didn't like chocolate. The one
I'm in.
So I'll bring salted chocolate and blue cheese when we do the midwinter night dram, because you're going to see what a striking profile they all have together when you fuse these flavors.
That's what I love about Russ being here is he opens up so many other.
He knows stuff
you don't know about.
Well, with this, like you again, we were laughing because the first couple episodes, like it's really good.
Yeah,
and then you bring him in, and he's bringing this stuff to light, and I'm like, I never thought of that.
Yeah.
But you'll eat my blue cheese, I'll eat your salted chocolate. That's what we do as a host and a co-host. We work together.
I thought you were going to say something else.
I'm a giver. I'm giving
my salty snacks
to you guys.
He's a giver. He's a giver.
He's a giver. He may move over to this chair here. Cheers, boys.
Yeah.
Pleasure.
Thanks again.
Russ, thank you.
See you on the next one.